You were born an orphan. On a hive world of tens of billions, parents are just a margin of error before the manufactorum takes them. Your father died on the factory floor. No mask, no warning, just chemicals in his lungs and a number crossed off a ledger where his name used to be. Your mother burned from the inside. Lung plague, toxic smog of the lower levels. The Imperium consumed her and moved on. You were 6. Welcome to the 41st Millennium. If you were lucky, you die at 40, coughing blood. If the universe laughs at you, you live longer. But you were descended from those who served the Adeptus, even in the lowest positions, so they did not leave you to rot in the gutters of the Underhive. They took you to the Schola Progenium. You studied High Gothic until the tendons bled. You memorized sacred texts kneeling on crushed glass, so the pain would drive the words into your mind. You fought other children for an extra ration of water, but if the abbot saw anger in that, you were both flogged to the bone. Because wrath belongs only to the enemies of the emperor. Beatings from the older ones were routine. No one intervened. You learned to endure. Without a sound, without fear. That is where you found her. Elisa. A year older, same grey face, same empty eyes. She helped dress your wounds after one of the punishments. You became sisters long before the title was official. Whispering in cold barracks at night, not about freedom. Freedom does not exist. About how beautiful it would be to die for him. At 14, the time of selection came. Commissars, inquisitors, scions. And then they came. Women in armour as black as the void, cloaks the colour of fresh blood. Adepta Sororitas. They did not look at muscle. They looked into the soul. They searched for faith, blind, frenzied, searing. You stared at the statue of the emperor and wept. Not from fear, from awe. From the feeling that you were nothing. A mote of dust in the light of his greatness. The canoness saw those tears. She stepped forward, lifted your face with a gauntleted hand, cold metal, the smell of leather. There is fire in you, child. We will make it a conflagration. You were taken into the Order of the Valorous Heart, founded in memory of a martyr who gave everything for the faith. Elisa was taken with you. That was your first and last miracle. They stripped you of your name, gave you a number. You trained with heavy weapons until the muscles tore. You were taught that pain is an illusion of flesh, that the spirit is immortal. Neural jacks were implanted into your spine, crude, agonizing, ports through which you would bond with the machine spirit of your power armor. At 18, you put on the armor for the first time. When the armor bonded to your nervous system, you screamed. It felt as though liquid promethium had been poured into your veins and set alight. And then came the strength. The armor became your skin, your shell. You were given a Godwin Diaz pattern bolt gun, a weapon that fires mass reactive rounds, a weapon whose recoil would shatter the arms of an ordinary person. You were the bride of the Emperor, a weapon in his hands. Your first deployment. The ramp dropped, and you saw them. Eyes filled with alien hatred. You prayed and pulled the trigger. The bolter roared. Elisa was on your right. Her flamer turned heretics into burning torches that still scream. That evening in the chapel, no guilt, only ecstasy. You were clean. Years passed, decades, jungles, oceans, frozen wastes. You lost count of the worlds you burned. Scars covered your face, each one a memory. Your left eye, gone at 17. You learned to sleep at your post, to stitch your own wounds in the dark, and return to the fight. And then came Calderon Prime, a world corrupted by the warp. You moved through the ruins of a macro cathedral when they came from the shadows. Creatures woven from rot and disease, demons of Nurgle. One of them, massive, bloated, its entrails spilling outward, seized a young novitiate. Elisa was closest. She had to save her, shield her. But she saw the demon's eyes, saw the abyss in them, and she froze. Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds of hesitation. The Sister Superior saw it. Hesitation is doubt. Doubt is heresy. Elisa was stripped of her armor, her weapons, symbols of shame tattooed across her face. The Sisters Repentia, those who seek death to wash away their sin. You watched her go, but your faith was stronger. You lowered your eyes and read the litany of contempt. The war continued. The sky turned the colour of a bruise. Faces of screaming souls circled within it. The guard broke on the 3rd week. Only us, sisters of battle, protecting a relic of a saint whose name no one remembered. 300 remained, against millions. The order: stand to the death. You formed your ranks, and the tank organs began to play. The music merged with the battle. They struck. Sisters fell one by one, beneath the tide, torn apart. You watched the Sister Palatine burn alive, never ceasing her prayers. The Repentia hit the flank, unarmoured, bleeding. Among them was Elisa. She knew she wouldn't survive. That was the plan. Elisa carved her way to the Demon Prince. His strike took her arm and nearly killed her. She drove her eviscerator straight into the beast's gut. Elisa looked at you. Her eyes were clear. She gave her life for the Emperor and found her redemption. Golden light began to pulse around the sisters. An act of faith. A true miracle of the Emperor. Broken sisters rose, still fighting. Empty bolters fired again in golden flame. Your sword knew no exhaustion. But miracles don't last forever. They were still winning. A hammer strike shattered your arm. Your augmetic eye flickered, then failed. Your armor began to fail. And when hope was nearly gone, only faith in the Emperor remained. You raised your eyes and felt him watching. You were a true daughter of the Emperor, born in fire. Forged in faith, you never broke.